Hello everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to share with you our focus on Mega Goal 3.2, which is all about conversation and listening. We'll be exploring Unit 12, titled Lost and Found. On this first slide, you can see the cover page, and I just want to give you a quick overview of what's ahead. We'll look into some key skills for improving conversation and listening, and I'll walk you through the main points of the unit. So, let's get started and dive into the topic. Let's start with our warm-up. Today, we're going to talk about a lost watch. Now, imagine a watch, something that helps us keep track of time and is often quite personal. As we look at the picture here, take a moment to observe what you see. What do you think this image is showing us? Feel free to read the picture aloud in your mind, or even out loud if you like. This activity is designed to get us thinking and engaging with the topic at hand, which ties into our overall theme of perception and attention. So, as we proceed, keep in mind how details like a watch or a picture can tell us a story or reveal something important. Read along as you listen. Open your book to page 184. Today, we're focusing on Abdullah and Mohammed. Who are they? They are two individuals we're going to learn about. So, how many persons are there in this context? There are two. Let's practice scanning the text to find these details quickly. Understanding who Abdullah and Mohammed are helps us connect better with the story and the overall theme of the presentation. Remember, paying attention to these details enhances our comprehension. So, keep this in mind as we continue. So, here we have a boy who loves to skim, and what makes this especially meaningful is that his parents gave him this object. It's more than just a watch, it's a gift from someone special, which makes it even more valuable to him. Now, you might wonder, what exactly is so unique about this watch? Well, it's not just about telling time, it's about the memories and the sentiment attached to it. And speaking of memories, what did he lose? He lost this very watch, the one his parents gave him. Losing it isn't just about the item itself, but about losing a connection, a piece of his childhood, and perhaps a symbol of their love and support. This slide ties into our broader theme of how objects carry emotional significance, and how losing something meaningful can impact us deeply. It reminds us that beyond the physical, these objects often hold stories and feelings that shape our experiences. Now, let's take a closer look at some common idiomatic expressions that convey different emotional states or reactions. First, we have Mohammed asking, "Who says, 'vanish into thin air'?" This phrase is often used when someone suddenly disappears or something seems to vanish completely, almost as if it was never there. It highlights how we describe situations where things just disappear without a trace. Next, we have Abdullah asking, "Who says, 'bent out of shape'?" This expression means someone is upset or annoyed, often over something minor. It's a colorful way of saying someone is emotionally upset or irritated. Then Mohammed asks again, "Who says, 'hit the roof'?" This phrase describes when someone becomes very angry or agitated. Think of it as their anger reaching a boiling point. It emphasizes intense emotional reactions. Following that, Mohammed asks, "Who says, 'down in the dumps'?" This is a common way to describe feeling sad, gloomy, or depressed. It paints a picture of someone feeling low or unmotivated. Finally, Abdullah asks, "Who says, 'eating'?" This seems straightforward but can also be part of expressions like eating up time, meaning spending or consuming time eagerly. As we see, these idioms are not just colorful language. They help us express complex emotional states in a vivid, relatable way. They also connect to the overall theme of our presentation, understanding how language reflects human emotions and reactions. Recognizing these expressions can improve our communication, making it richer and more expressive. Let's take a moment to read the words and their meanings carefully. This slide is about understanding key vocabulary that will help us grasp the main concepts of the presentation. When we focus on these words, it allows us to communicate more clearly and think more critically about the topics at hand. Remember, mastering these terms isn't just about memorization. It's about truly understanding their significance in the context of our discussion. So, as we go through each word and its meaning, think about how it connects to the overall theme and how it can enhance your understanding of the material. This step is crucial for building a solid foundation for the ideas we're exploring today. So let's look at this phrase. What did she say? It's a common way to ask what someone else has just spoken. Now, the next part of the slide shows different ways to express that idea, particularly focusing on how we describe someone feeling very sad or dejected. The first version, it's just, he's really down on the dumps. Here, down on the dumps is a colloquial expression meaning someone is feeling quite depressed or unhappy. The second version, it's just, he's really down in the dumps. Notice the slight variation. Down in the dumps is also a common idiom, and it essentially means the same thing. The third version, it's just, he's really down in dumps. This one is a bit less common and sounds a bit more informal or even incorrect in standard English. It's important to recognize these slight differences because they can affect how natural or correct our speech sounds. Throughout this slide, the key takeaway is understanding these idiomatic expressions and their correct forms, especially since they often appear in everyday conversations and can help us sound more natural when speaking. They also connect to the overall theme of understanding idioms and expressions that convey emotions and attitudes in English. So what did he actually say? Well, this slide highlights a couple of interesting phrases that play with the idea of circulation and impact. First, circulation ought to hit the roof with this piece. This suggests that we expect this particular work or piece to generate a lot of buzz, a lot of attention. It's about making sure that the circulation, meaning the distribution or reach, really skyrockets. Then we have a similar phrase, circulation out to hit the roof with this piece. The slight variation emphasizes the outward spread, getting this piece out there as far and wide as possible. And finally, there's a clever twist. Circulation ought to hit the roof with this piece. Here, we're playing on the word piece instead of peace. It's a pun, implying that not only should the circulation be huge, but perhaps this particular message or idea should bring about a sense of peace or calm. Overall, these phrases connect to our theme of maximizing impact, whether it's through spreading a piece of work or fostering peace through communication. It's about aiming high and ensuring our message reaches as many people as possible, creating a significant effect. So when asked what he said, I honestly didn't catch it. I told my mom, I don't know. It's like he just vanished into thin air, disappeared completely before we could even understand what was going on. Then I mentioned to my mum again, I don't know, emphasizing how strange the situation felt. It's almost as if he vanished into thin air, leaving us puzzled and searching for answers. This moment really highlights how sometimes, in these situations, people might seem to disappear suddenly, making it hard to grasp what actually happened. It ties back to the overall theme of uncertainty and the challenge of understanding what we can't see or fully comprehend. So, what did he actually say? The core message here is pretty simple but powerful. There's no use getting bent out of shape about little stuff. It's a reminder to keep things in perspective, especially when we're faced with minor setbacks or annoyances. Whether you say about little stuff or about a little stuff, the idea is the same. Don't let small issues disrupt your focus or your mood. And the funny thing is, this phrase also shows us how sometimes we might get distracted by small details, even to the point of losing sight of what's really important. So the key takeaway is to stay calm and keep perspective, because often, those little things aren't worth the energy we spend stressing over them. This mindset helps us stay more effective and more positive, especially when facing challenges or setbacks along the way. So I lost my watch, and it was quite a moment. I didn't realize it was missing until I got to work, which was a bit frustrating. It turns out, I had left my watch on top of the medicine cabinet in the bathroom. Luckily, Abdullah was there to help me remember where I had put it. This just goes to show how important it is to pay attention to where we leave our belongings, especially when we're trying to stay organized and mindful. It also ties into the overall theme of our presentation. Being aware of our habits and surroundings can really make a difference in preventing little setbacks like this. On this slide, we're looking at some interesting stories involving Mariella and her belongings, as well as Max, the parrot. First, Mariella's book. It's on page 187, and she accidentally dropped it on the beach. To prevent losing it completely, she plans to tie it to her pants with a string, which is a simple but effective way to keep track of her belongings. Then, there's an important point about how lost items can be recovered. A woman found Mariella's book, recognized a bridesmaid in the photos inside, and was able to return it to Mariella's sister's friend. This highlights how recognizing details in photos or items can help in reuniting lost belongings with their owners. Moving on to Max, Mariella's parrot, we see a different kind of story involving technology. Max's owner heard the cell phone ringing, which shows how important communication is in these stories. Max had a computer chip embedded inside him for identification, which is a common method today to keep track of pets. Interestingly, Max managed to open the wire enclosure and got out of the yard, demonstrating how clever and resourceful animals can be. These stories all connect back to the overall theme of keeping track of belongings and pets, whether through physical methods like tying items or technological solutions like microchips. They remind us how important it is to protect and locate our valuables and loved ones. Let's go through the answers to the vocabulary exercise. For the first question, the correct answer was C then. Moving on, the second answer was E next. For the third question, the answer is. After that, the fourth answer is F for the fifth. The correct choice is O, and finally, the sixth answer is D. This exercise helps reinforce our understanding of the key vocabulary we've been discussing, and seeing these answers laid out clearly ties everything together. Remember, mastering these terms is essential to grasping the overall theme of our presentation, which is about effective communication and language skills. Keep these connections in mind as you review your work, and you'll strengthen your overall comprehension and ability to apply this knowledge in real-world situations.